Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham Daily News and Update Show, the Breakfast Club, and a bit of a preview show, too, because we are on the eve of a massive clash at the Racecourse ground. And I was just listening to Parkinson's interview, and I also listened to Davies' interview as well. Lots to pick out there. Make no mistake. This is a big one. It is a big one. They can play it down, both managers, the onside noise, whatever, all this stuff. It's a big clash. It is. We came up last year together. Birmingham City are a good side. A little bit of pressure, and I have my take about what I think is going to happen tomorrow, too. Want to have your take. Get your score predictions. There is a Tactical Fortitude show later on with Ken, and I believe he is bringing on John. So it's going to be two Birmingham City supporters on the Tactical Fortitude later, which is great. And then Victor, of course. So what an amazing treat. But yes, it's been a double week, a big test for Wrexham this week. We didn't fully pass the test. It was a good performance on what is it, Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. On Tuesday, and then going into tomorrow, I want us to win this game, go out on a high, see, there we go. John, it's not a big clash. It is a big clash. Well, when you have your own podcast and you don't want to call it a big clash, you come on and have your say, my friend. It's a big clash. Get out of here. You're just trying to play it down because your manager is under the microscope and he's on sack watch already, 8 games in. Total sack watch for Davies. Oh my God. John can't even admit it. Anyways, thank you for coming in. Please smash that like button, subscribe. We're at 2,900. We're at 2,904 subscribers, but we're 95, 96, 97 away from getting to 3,000. So help it out, smash it out, share it out, get out there. Let's do this. And after we beat the smack out of Birmingham City tomorrow night, maybe we'll get over 3,001. But anyways, good to have everyone in on a Thursday, October 2nd. Yes, it's October already. We're already doing it. West Bromwich Albion is a big clash, not some Welsh club. Swansea is a big clash to you guys. Okay. All right. We're going to beat you tomorrow. That's all I know. Good day. What's up, Wayne Evans? 2-0. Wrexham says Dougal, and Danny D's in the house. Leapin's here. Nikki's here. Ted's also here. Chicky, hey, how you doing, Chicky? And always good to have the rivalry, get those juices flowing. Yeah, I know. Actually, I agree with Dougal. 2-0 Wrexham. Wow, Webby is not picking against his team. Here's my top of the line thoughts right here. I think this is a perfect time to play Birmingham City. They're wobbling. Their owner's coming in town. He's watching them. Got a tough eye. I was listening to Davies. He sounds a little nervous. I do think they'll have a lot of possession with the ball, and I do fear on the right side, if he is fit, Damari Gray is a spectacular player. He is levels above, in my opinion. Great pickup for Birmingham City. But yeah, it's going to be a big clash. It's Friday night under the lights, going into the weekend. For going into the second international break, which I want to absolutely just stub my toe for this happening. Get these out of the way. Why? I hate international breaks. Our next game isn't to the 18th. So tomorrow's the 3rd. It's 15 friggin' days. That sucks. Wagner will be in the crowd. He's going to be at the game. He's watching. Chris Davies has as Papa Wagner looking over his shoulder. Michael has been in London for this sports summit, so he'll be at the game. And Donna says, Josh, I was just listening to the Birmingham City podcast post, and they predicted to nothing high, and they said of 8 or 9 players out with injuries, they had nothing but praise for us. That's great. I have nothing but praise for them too. I still want to go there and beat the crap out of them tomorrow at the Racecourse ground. But anyways, I'm not here for friends tomorrow. John and I, he knows it. His team. He wants them to win. I don't know how he feels about that. Again, he's going to be on later. Tactical Fortitude, I believe, so he'll have it. And Donna says 2-0. Injuries are happening. I'm going to briefly talk about a couple of injuries real quick. And some Parkinson codes here. But as you know, the table is tabling right now. It's starting to take a little bit of shape. Birmingham City are in where the fuck are you guys? Sorry, Boom. You're in. Where are you? Oh, 11th. Yeah. I was looking toward the top of the table to look for Birmingham City. I didn't see them there. I had to go a little bit down, a little bit further, and I saw them right there. But, they're only, three points off? 3 points on promotion, 2 points on promotion, and then Wrexham are right there at 9 points. So, yeah, I was looking way up here to the table. I didn't see Birmingham City anywhere. Yeah, weird. But they're in Birmingham City are in okay form. Loss, win, loss, draw. I mean, it's not great form, but you never can pop up for this massive clash tomorrow night. Ted Nelson said it's going to be 3-1 Birmingham City. 3-1 Birmingham City. That's a good result. So I'll just listen to Parkinson real quick. He was talking about the injuries first. Let's talk about the injuries. Let's talk about going what I think he's going to do with the match. I do think we're going to give up some of it. We're going to give up the ball. We're going to give up the ball, and I think that Parkinson will probably keep it tight. If we can get an early goal, that'd be great. I think if either team gets an early goal, the game will open up. But we'll see how it goes. I think our defense is going to be solid. I think Cody comes back in oddly for Brunt. I think that's what he's going to do. And we talked about. He also talked about the injuries. So here we go. Libby top of mind right now. Kakache, he's not going to be back for this game. Obviously, he's injured. They're gonna give him training minutes for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, get him back for the Stoke City match. We need him back. Lonnie Longman has played really well, so I expect him to start tomorrow. But Libby's not close. He also talked about Rathbone. Rathbone, I thought he would be on the bench for the other game, but tomorrow probably not. They want him to have a practice match before he gets on the pitch. That makes sense. So don't expect Rathbone to be anywhere near the bench tomorrow. If he is, I will be surprised. He also talked about Scarzy. Connor Cody was benched, was taken off the bench because he thought Scarzy had a good game prior. So maybe Scar keeps his position on the bench. Cody maybe not sure. And the other injury update. So Windass took a knock. He posted on his Instagram his massive ankle. It was really bruised up, swelling, Parkinson said. So they were watching that. He said he wanted to get on with it. He did play like another 20 minutes after he took that knock. So I think he's been in good. He's been in the treatment room for this past week. I'd expect if he can go, he's going to start. This sounds so stupid. If Windass is going to go, he's going to start. I also suspect that I'd probably not risk him. I'd start Broadhead tomorrow. I think Broadhead is has lightning in his boots. He's really energetic when he comes on. He is a great player, impact player that he has been, and he's been very effective. But it just goes down to the case. They're going to assess Windass tomorrow and see if he's okay to start. So one of those two guys will be starting. The rest of the team I expect to be the same, except I think he's going to drop Brunt and bring back in Doyle. That's my top of the line thought. There, good one, John. And we'd have to spend as much as you to be higher. You guys spent last year, and your manager said it today. It's not like last year when you guys were in League One and you were expected to win the league because you spent all that money. We spent money this year, £33 million for sure. You know what? You got to do it. We're not. It's a league. It's a league that has to be competitive. We'd love to see Brody and Smith up front. I think Smith. Parkinson mentioned it today. He's been a little bit unfortunate because he had the injuries, or not an injury. He had 2 surgeries on his legs to remove a tumor. So Smith has been unlucky, and Parkinson even said that today in his news conference. So I think he'll still go with Kiefer Moore. I do know there's injuries, John. You guys do have injuries at the back. Is that correct? I think our injuries are concerned. I won't lie. You will have a better chance to beat us. Yeah, I think right now this is, in my opinion, the perfect time. Not that we're going to sit back. I think it's a really good time to play Birmingham City. But Birmingham City can turn it on like that and win 5 on the bounce. They can. But right now, with all the talk, I'm calling it sack watch. Your manager being there, your owner being there. I don't care what you say. There is a little bit of rough and tumble. I think Aaron is officially the oracle if this happens before Parkinson. So I don't know what that bet was, John, but this is why we love football. That's why we love football. I think right now is the best time, in my opinion, to play. They have injuries, which any team can have. We have our injury woes. Lost our number 1 goalkeeper, and we lost Windass. Libby's down, but our team is coming into a bit of form. I wouldn't say we're spectacular, but we're in definitely better form than Birmingham City. And right now, with kind of middle of the table, 9 games in, loss, win, loss, draw, very inconsistent. So it's the good time to play this team, and it doesn't mean that they're not going to go on and be in position at the end of the season to get promoted. But tomorrow, I feel very confident that we can go get a result. I'd love to win. I think we'll probably get a draw. I'd love to win this match, but I think it's going to be a draw. That's what I think. John says, at least we won't need to field a reserve. midfield against you, which we had to do against you last season. Yes, you did. You have a lot of injuries. Jeremy says, I agree Broadhead win over Windass to start. Not worth the long-term risk. Yeah, it's all going to be, listen, Windass is a gamer. He wants to be on that pitch. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. He wants to be there. So I think it's going to be up to, obviously, it's going to be up to Parkinson and the physios to feel if he can do, it's going to be either 65 minutes or can you play 30 minutes? That's it. It's going to play 60 or 30. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. John Elmer, what's going on? If Windass has the armband, he is playing. How many times has we seen Maka after our bad performance? Yes. Yeah, I agree with that too. Moore needs the rest at some point. He will. Well, I think he's going into international duty. So him and Broadhead he's not going to get a time to rest. He's going right into an international game. They're playing England next week in a friendly and then Belgium. See, any update on Kakache? That was 5 minutes ago, but I'll give you an update. He is not going to be expected back probably till after. He's a couple weeks away, probably till after the international break. And so don't expect to see him on the bench tomorrow. Sack Watch will be the story for the documentary for both teams. What's the latest on Ward? Long ways away, Jeremy. Long ways away. Not even close. Last time John, he sat in the weigh-in and brought out the concession bar at halftime. He did. And Chris says we're going to win 1-0. We're going to get a goal off a corner kick, and that'll be it. Good. Wow, good. I think we got to, definitely got to take a quick look at, obviously they have injuries, but Damari Gray is going to be the guy for me to watch. I watched him the other day, pops up, cuts inside very quick. He's just one of those players that has something about him. Obviously, Stansfield's going to be sitting in the middle of the park there too. I don't know. There was an injury in the last match. I don't know who it was. Your manager talked about him today. Somebody is out. Where is he? I don't know. There's a lot of articles on this. Yeah, if you don't think it's John, come on. If you don't think this is a big match, get the fuck out of here. Look at how Wrexham and Birmingham became global names. I mean, this is they're gonna pump this up full of lead, all day. That's what they're gonna do. It's a big match. Set pieces are massive weakness for us. So Chris, probably there you go. And then Iron Man's in here with the emojis. Parkinson, a couple questions here, a couple sound bites from the interview. He said every goal you can do better as a team, and it was too easy for them to play through us. In the build-up play, we should have done better, being too soft on the last game. Yes, I think that's 2 games ago, by the way. We should have seen that out. On the pressure and rumors about his job, this is Parkinson said. There's no discussions after the game. This is earlier. That was it. This was their referee. They're referencing the fact the outside noise. So Chris Davies said he does not pay attention to the outside noise. We played last year twice. There were 2 big occasions. The one away at Birmingham City, which I think they won 2-1. I believe that was the scoreline. 2-1 or 3-1. And then there was the draw. I don't think you're coming here for a draw at all. But it is that it's going to be fanfare, hype. I don't know. But like I said, it's to me looking like who can get that early goal, who can get that first goal. I think you guys can have a lot of possession, but if someone can nick an early goal some way or another, that'd be great. I expect the game to be not as rough and tumble as the Derby match, but it's going to be a clash. It's going to feel like an occasion. We're not going to have the light show that you guys have, but yeah, we'll see. Media pump it up. But if we're being honest right now, it looks like the championship mid-table clash, which is suppressing thought. That's why your manager's on sack watch. That's why your manager's on sack watch. I think he's a little bitter today, John. I'm going to say it. And can't wait to hear the crowd. And John Merrill says, Nikki D says, I doubt anyone ever reads Wagner's CC bill. Probably just goes to auto pay, credit card bill, maybe just an accountant tax time. Yep. But you could call it a mid-table clash, John. You call it, but it's still a clash. It's still a clash. It's still a big occasion, in my opinion, which is interesting. Now, what else is going on here, too? The supporters information, too. This is what I want to get to, too. Oh, the subs. Parkinson mentioned the subs, and this goes back to Windass. The good news is we do have depth, more depth than we had last year, and more depth than we had earlier in this season. So whatever way he's going to whatever way he sets up tomorrow, I expect that Parkinson will be able to, plan for 65 and plan for 30. So I would like for him to start Broadhead, have Windass possibly come on. I think Lewis O'Brien, he could do very well in this game. Dobson, it's going to be hard working in the middle of the park because we're gonna give up possession to Birmingham City. They'll probably be a little bit more advanced than us. So our set pieces, which John mentioned earlier, will have to be very important. And John, if you're around, I could drop a link if you want to come in. Our set pieces will be very important. So we need to take our opportunities. A lot of times right now, Wrexham are not we have opportunities and we're not closing and then we're not finishing them. And that's gotten us in trouble, and that's why we're drawing splits. We're drawing games. We don't want it. I think I'll quote what the Birmingham City, what Chris Davies said. He said, we don't want to have good performances and not get results. Like us, I said the same thing. I don't want to have a really good performance and not get a result, even the win. So expect us to give up the ball. Expect Dobson to be in that middle of the park, along with Shafe, who I thought didn't have his best. Sheaf didn't have his best game last match. Maybe he was tired. I'm not sure, but I expect Parkinson to keep that same squad. That double pivot there, and Dobson coming in and playing that role. He really was impressed with Matty James coming on as well in this last match. And Matty James did do well. He's one of the best players of the season last season. But he's not a starter, but he's not a starter. He shouldn't be starting. Right now, I need to make dinner. If I'm going to make the show later on, have fun, all cool. And Jeremy says, that's John. John's going to be on the show later on. Both teams are capable of making the playoffs. It's still early in the season. Yes, well, it's starting to take shape a little bit. Starting to take a little bit of shape. Well, when we beat them tomorrow, and they'll get a bounce and a new manager bounce when they sack Chris Davies. So that's going to happen. Obviously, it's all tongue in cheek, by the way. Just joking. John's in there. That's why. Tom Wagner is well worth over £1 billion. I think he can afford a few drinks. He can. And Mike says, I like our roster more than Brum's this season. Last year was a landslide favor for Birmingham City. Not this time around. I like our roster too. I want a full fit roster. We have not had a full fit roster. And to be honest, we're not going to have a full fit roster because Ward's going to be out until next year sometime. So, but we'll be very close. Subs, I hope Parkey decides to use them before 75th minute. I agree. I think he's looking to the whites of the eyes too late at times. And I think it's bit him in the ass twice this season. One with Southampton, and then one the other day against Derby County. Is it Derby County? Yeah, against Derby County. So he needs to be a little bit more braver on that. He's trying to hold as much as possible, but looking at performances, looking at players, everyone's still trying to figure it out how much they can play. And that's, he said today in his press conference that each individual player has their own timeline of what they're doing, what they could play, how they play. And that's a lot to keep up with, but that's his job. That's why they pay him the money, him and Parkin, to put it together and put a team on the pitch that is going to go out and win football matches. But I do predict a draw tomorrow. I want the win. I predict a draw. Maybe a 1-1, 2-2. I think it's going to be a barn burner game with not a shit ton. If he has 4 goals in it, that'd be great. Could just be a 1-1, something like that. I don't want us to be chasing the game. Birmingham City will control the ball and get in advanced spaces. And if we sit too deep, they will punish us. I know they have injuries, but I don't want to just sit back and just take waves against them and just try to, which I think we're probably going to do, by the way. Shafe would instantly be the best player in Birmingham's midfield. O'Brien would be their best player, in my opinion. Webby says, you think Shafe is better than Doyle Michael? Not so sure. That's a great debate for sure. And Mike Shane says, it seems a full fit roster of the championship doesn't exist. It depends on the need. Our depth needs to contribute now. Yeah. Not everyone's going to be fit all the time. I mean, look at Windass. I could totally see Windass starting tomorrow, for sure. But do you see his ankle? I mean, geez, Tuesday, Friday this time. So didn't get that extra day to get there. But we have, touch wood, have caught injuries after injury, like just over, Libby's hamstring, Broadhead got a knock, Windass got a knock, our goalkeeper, Rathbone losing him, down under in the tour, having him for the opportunity. Just all over the place. Guys coming back. Where's Ryan Hardy? Like anything, I haven't heard word one about Ryan Hardy. Just like off the face of the earth. Don't know what happened. So Greg says, I thought Parky seemed to have found his rotation against Leicester City. Once Rathbone gets back and Dobson hits the bench, we will have a nice squad. Rathbone and Kakache have to come in. That's where it looks like, I mean, does Maka even make that squad? I think we talk about this all the time. When Libby comes back, does Maka make the bench? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, no. The kind of Cody Scar thing is going to be an issue too. They're battling it out. Parkinson, Scar, he gave Scar his opportunity. Kind of Cody, had to sit on the bench. I think he mentioned it too. About in his, that he gave Scarzy the opportunity to keep his spot. A little bit of loyalty there. Doyle not even gets a start. Okay. Let's talk about our Doyle. So let's talk about Brunt in the back line real quick. Brunt took a lot of shit in the last game for the goal we gave up. I know we want to pinpoint it on one player. This should have that. AO should have got his hand down on it, whatever. But I think he's going to give Doyle the start tomorrow. I think Brunt had a great game 2 games ago. I think he had not his best game this last match. I think that I want to give sorry, I want to where is it? I don't know what it says. Oh, it's over here. Sorry. Doing 2 things at once here. His player rating, by the way, was Lewis Brunt. They gave him a 7. Domheim a 7 as well. Issa Kabore an 8. Sheaf got a 6. So I don't know. I like Brunt. I like Brunt in this situation. But I think he might go back to Doyle. I just have a feeling about that. In fact, I could be totally wrong. He could do an unchanged 11. I would not even be surprised. Parkinson, if he unchanged 11 tomorrow, I'd be shocked. But he could do it. But I could see Brunt sitting down and Broadhead coming in. On that note, I don't know who's on their who's their left back, but I'm interested. Who's their left back? So who is Issa Kabore going to be going up against tomorrow? Coltrane? Is it Coltrane? Cochran? Or Asa Samuel? I'm trying to think of where we go. I think he'll be going against Asa Samuel. Is that correct? Now, I know we'll probably be sitting back and we're going to give up possession to them. But the danger zone is going to come from us. Cochran. He's going to be against Cochran. Okay, he'll be going against Cochran. Is he any good? Is he quick, Webby? Is he quick? He's 5'9", 25 years old. He's their left back, okay? I don't know how quick he is. So either way, you're going to have a lot to handle going down that side with Issa Kabore there. He's going to be our target man. He's not quick. Okay, then you guys are fucked. Yeah, if he's not quick, that's not going to be good. So they're going to try to double team Webby. Webby, I think they'll probably double team Clara, whoever's over there. Issa Kabore. Issa Kabore is going to be our outlet guy. He's going to be on his horse tomorrow, and I could see him. Obviously, we do a lot of crossing. If this guy's not quick, slow, expect us to go down that side again as we do and get crosses into the box. You guys are really good at from last year, heading the ball away, chalk and cheese. Going to be if Kiefer Moore starts, it's going to be a banger down low again. He's going to be putting himself about. But our danger man for me right now will be that Issa Kabore taking on Cochran if he is as slow as Webby's saying. So that'll be an interesting matchup there too. So keep an eye out for that. And I think Broadhead can come up with a goal tomorrow as well. Love to see him with a brace. Cochran versus Kabore. Yes, that's Kabore. Maka going to come on in 70 minutes and take over. Why? No way. No. I don't want Maka on the pitch more than 5 minutes. I love him, but there's just no reason. He's backup. He's a backup now. And when Libby comes back, I'd be struggling to see him on the bench. As I mentioned before, Brunt makes a few Brunt makes a few inexperienced mistakes, which is to be expected. He'll grow into a great defender, but now Doyle needs to be in. I wonder why he sat Doyle. Did he come up with a knock, or did he just prefer Brunty? we want these guys to get a run of games. We're going to need both of them all season. And of course, Max isn't going anywhere. He's like the undroppable one. And Maka could still sub in Libby until Libby is back. Longman was spent at 70 minutes. Yeah. Or Windes will call Brett Favre and ask what he needs to be at his best. Likes helps Josh. Karen's in the house. How you doing, Karen? Thank you very much. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Thursday. But I'm excited for this one. Hey, we're on the eve of this. Friday night lights. Friday night under the lights going to be fantastic. Racecourse ground's going to be pumping. And I think the fans are going to be up for it. I think that both sides will be up for this match. Very impressive that we do get this much. We do get this much attention. Both teams, really big clubs, really big ambition. I think that Chris Davies is under a little bit of scrutiny. I think there's a scratch and sniff of a Sackwatch coming in. If we beat them, I think the noise will get louder. But I think this is a really good opportunity for us to make a statement. I want the win, but I think it'll be a draw. It'll leave us on a high. We get 4 points from these two matches against two very, very good sides this week. It'd be very good for us. But I think we got to go out. I think we got to be aggressive, be first to the ball, win our challenge, win our headers, and take our chances. And we can totally do that. O'Brien's been doing very well, but we take our chances. Broadhead, those guys get shots on goal. They're going to be up for the fight. They're going to be up for it tomorrow. It's a big occasion. You watch. We could nick out a win, but I think it could be. I think we'll get a draw. Patty Power says Birmingham podcast are very worried. 4-2-3-1 isn't working, and Davies won't change it. Do you think they're down in tools? We'll see tomorrow. Maybe they're down in tools. They don't want. Maybe they're annoyed with Davies. Maybe the guys are down in tools. I don't know. I don't know the club. I don't know the players that well on the Birmingham City side. But it could be maybe they want Davies out. I don't know. I'm just putting storyline out there. I'm just asking. And they're down in tools. And if he gets whacked tomorrow, let's say it's a 3-0 or 3-1, maybe that's the end of Davies. I don't know if that's what is happening over there, but I think it's a good opportunity for us. There's a wobble there. Their ambition is probably to go up this season again. There's a wobble. We'll see. Let's see if Birmingham City show up tomorrow. The Reds are going to show up. We never back away from a fight, ever, no matter what it is. These are good tests for us early in the season. I think we're growing in confidence, growing in stature. Yes, not fully gelled yet, and I think that has to do to obviously having 13 players coming in and injuries starting us. But it could be an opportunity to make that statement game tomorrow. And if they're wobbling a bit, Birmingham City, let's get after them. Any word on Ollie? Talked about it earlier. Ollie will not probably be on the bench tomorrow. Parkinson said he wants to get him a practice game before he gets back in a competitive match. So probably going to do that over the next 2 weeks, which we have. So next game's against Stoke City on the 18th. So he will probably not be there. Mike says Brunt's fine. Kidding me? Leicester City only scored 1 goal, a big chance at home with 70% possession. I like Brunt. We're just having to talk here in the news day. And Mike Shane says, at this point in his career, at his level, I'm happy when Maka doesn't get burnt out on defense. He provides emergency sub and depth. Any update on Stansfield? I don't know. Is he injured? Is Stansfield injured? Okay. I don't see anything on Stansfield. But John will cover that later on in Tactical Fortitude. Isn't Davies a real hard ass? Maybe that's why it's backfiring. Yeah. Well, when things aren't going right, you get stubborn. You get stubborn even more. Look at Amarin at Manchester United. He's fucking stubborn, terrible. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. They got 7 shots. They got 7 goals and 8. AO going to be the first clean sheet. Stansfield might be injured, says Patty. Okay, great. There's a good update there. There was a mention he might have been injured. I'll ask John later. Says Matt White. Yes. If he's injured, that's not good for them. Good for us. Not good for them. I'll bag out on AO. I'll end on AO. Obviously, he's going to be the starter tomorrow. I think Parkinson said he had his best performance. He's had 2 good performances. He likes him. I thought his hand was a little soft at the goal. He needs to be a little stronger there, but he looked more confident. I think he's coming around, and I want him to do well. I do. I want him to do well. I want him to be less indecisive. I want him to control his box a little bit more and get his kicking. I think his kicking was a little better last match, but could be a first clean sheet at home. Could be our first win at the Stoke Terrace of the season, which is unbelievable to say that we haven't won at home yet. Could be tomorrow. I feel like Parkinson's either going to do one or two things with the lineup. It's going to be an unchanged 11, or he's going to swap out Doyle for Brunt, and he's going to swap out Windass with Broadhead because of that injury. So we'll see. But I do expect Windass to play tomorrow. Just going to test him. We'll see how it goes. Do we know the bet that Aaron and John have on the manager if he gets sacked first? I don't know. They'll talk about it later today, I'm sure. I think Parkey plays Brunt over Doyle when he's worried about other teams' speed. So Brunt might play. Ricky, what's going on, Ricky? And I think we're due for an outright game, explosive scoring win with at least 3 goals. I'd like to see that down a dub. Also interested to see Lewis Kumas, another potential signing this summer. JJ cooked us first half on Tuesday. JJ was very good. AO is our future in goal. Got to stick with him while he learns to play at this level. I still have question marks. LOB corner kick tomorrow. More will get us 3. But back to AO, to Matt's point. He's not the finished article yet. He's not the finished article. That's why he wasn't. That's why he started war over him. I mean, AO was the number 2. Let's just be fair. But we got to get behind him. And big one tomorrow. Let's finish out these 2 games this season. These 2 games before we go out to international duty. Let's go get that W. I'm predicting the draw. I want the win. Let's get fired up tomorrow. We'll be ready. Midday game. Game day build-up. Ken, Patty, I believe Aaron won't be around because he's working. Live watch along with me. Then straight into Patty Power hosting the Wrexham Time. Awesome show all the time. That's your say. And then Wrexham Reaction later. And then Saturday, we'll figure out what we're going to do Saturday. It's going to be weird not to have any game on, but hey, enjoy it. Well, enjoy that. And then Sunday is Ring and Rant Monday Night Champ Chat. And I already have the thumbnail ready. It says Sack Watch. This is a big picture of Davey. So it's going to be amazing. Stansfield foot stepped on by Wednesday's game decision. Yes, he says. Okay. Remember when we were so lucky to secure AO? We moved up, Bill, so fast. And I think that's part of it. And, he's on the job training now. All right. Thanks for coming in. Smash that like button. Share. We are under 100 away from 3001, which is this awesome community. Thank y'all. Big one tomorrow. Eve of the game. I'm ready for it. Rock and roll. Let's do this. And on that bombshell, we will see you all soon.